Good evening. Welcome to Songbird Homestead. I am Kimberly. Happy to have you here today on this not so beautiful spring day. April showers and all that stuff. I am a backyard homesteader up in the town and area of Northeast Maryland, Zone 7B, I believe it is. It's cold, it's wet, it's raining, it's damp. I was in such a hurry for winter to be over that I forgot that this is pretty much what spring has to offer. I'm coming to you today. It's a very happy day, a very celebratory day. Today is 1 year ago today that I became a chicken mama. So I just wanted to just pop on, talk about that a little bit. I got my egg basket. I'm outside. I just got home from work. I do work a full-time job. Me and my husband both. So this is our other full-time job. Anyway, the girls are at the door. I'm going to show you them, and then collect the eggs, and we'll talk about some chicken chat. Hi girls, how are my ladies doing? Do you know that 1 year ago today we became friends? Come on out. Oh my goodness. Hello, say hi to the camera. Yep, 1 year ago they were little itty bitty babies. Well, some of them were. Well, they were all little bitty babies, but I got some of them on a year ago today, and then some of them a couple days later. Where are you going? They do not like the rain. Oh my goodness, let's see what we have here. So here's two. Oh, they're still warm. And then here's three more. Look at that. My Olive Acres put those out. Hi, sweet girl. No, you're not going to be friendly. They also like to lay inside the coop in this one little itty bitty corner. They'll go lay in there. So let me see if they left me any present. So nothing in there. So yeah, let me put my little basket down. I guess I'm going to shoot my video in here because it's raining. But anyway, yeah, so chickens, it's something we had talked about at our old place. We've been at where we are now for about a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half. But we had been talking about it at our old place. At first, the law was we couldn't have any. Then they changed the law. But by the time they changed the law, we weren't sure if we were staying there. And as it is, consequently, we ended up moving. But we've been up here, like I said, almost a little over a year and a half. But we're here. We started with, originally we had 14 girls. A year ago today I don't remember, I think 5 from a local, it's called The Mill. I believe it was 5 I got, and then we ended up getting 9 from McMurray Hatchery. 2 of them ended up being roosters. One of them was one from McMurray Hatchery, and then another one was the one that I got at the mill. But whatever, we rehomed them to good homes. They're actually both of them are still up and running around on 2 legs. But regardless, so now we have 12. And I tell you what, like I don't know, when we first got chickens, I do hear sounds like a fire truck, so I apologize for that. But I was very worried, like to be in charge of another living creature. That's a big responsibility. And I think I talked about this in an earlier video. If I was going to be responsible for it, I think it goes without saying, I wanted to do everything I could and make sure that I was able to take care of them and not have anything happen to them. And if you go online, like on different social media groups or what have you, I feel like there's more posts and more commenting about all the risks and the things that could happen. You know, you see all these different things. I was afraid. I was scared. I was like, I don't know. I was like, can we do this? I didn't know anything about raising chickens. I had done a lot of research. I had watched a lot of YouTube videos. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. That's typically how I go into anything. I make sure I'm as prepared as I can, no matter what it is. And of course, like I said, taking care of a live animal, that wasn't going to be any different. But let me go here and we'll go see the girls while I'm talking. But couple of things that I thought were going to be a problem. I just want to talk about like things I thought were going to be a problem that weren't. And then there were things that I didn't anticipate that were a problem. So the first thing that I thought, I had read so much about keeping them warm, right? That I was like, I don't know, I'm going to have to like tend a fire and just blow heat at them the whole time, because I'm like, or put them in like a sauna, because I was just very, very worried about that. That wasn't even a problem. And the reason that wasn't a problem is because I was prepared. I had my brooding plate, I had my heat lamp, and I had a little thermometer. So for the first couple of days, I kept the thermometer, there, so I could see the temperature, monitor that. The second reason was they get feathers pretty quick. I did buy varieties and breeds that were adaptable for colder weather. So yeah, they got feathers. They got feathers pretty quick. So that of course helped them. Yeah. So keeping them warm wasn't even a thing. The other thing that I was worried about were two things that fortunately we didn't have to deal with. It's Amelia and Sassy, or Ruby. Sometimes it's hard to tell the red ones apart. I can't. But the other two things that luckily we didn't have to deal with were pasty butt, because I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that. It's exactly what it sounds like. Luckily they've been healthy. And bumblefoot. Two things, like I said, luckily, thank goodness, for whatever reason. Let me stand under my little thing that we didn't have to deal with. Do you see this? My husband, who is an absolute genius, this is a side note, when he built this, it has an overhang on both sides. And it has an overhang so that I wouldn't get wet when I'm collecting eggs. It's just the kind of man that he is. But anyway, so pasty butt and bumblefoot, like I said, luckily we didn't have to deal with them. And the other thing I thought was going to be a problem was, that rain's probably loud, I'm sorry, was them being home by themselves all day. I work all day. I leave in the morning. I leave pretty early. I get home. It's not too bad. It's not too late. But I was worried about that. They don't give up. They do not care. They do not care. As long as they have food and water and plenty of room, they don't care that they're home without me, because realistically, even if I was home, I probably wouldn't be with them the whole time. Okay. So there are the things that that I was worried about that were not a problem. Here's some of the things that were a problem that I didn't think were going to be a problem. One thing that I had never heard of was wryneck. So one of my girls, I don't even know which one it is now because she has healed so beautifully. She had wryneck, and basically what that is, and I've since learned, and thanks to someone on Facebook, they told me, they commented and they helped me to figure out what was wrong with her so that I could get her treated quickly and she could heal or recover from that. But basically what it is it stems from a vitamin deficiency, lack of nutrients, that kind of thing. And it wasn't because she wasn't getting that. We were giving her, and this is what someone said, now I don't know, maybe this is or isn't true, I don't know, but I was feeding her medicated food. I was feeding all of them medicated food. And apparently, according to the person online, that prohibits or inhibits the ability for them to absorb the nutrients into their system. So she had a nutrient deficiency, vitamin deficiency, however you want to put it. So I immediately, no, it is not contagious, of course. I immediately separated her, increased the vitamins she was getting. I also immediately switched their food. I just got rid of that food. So I switched their food, separated her, and then I increased the nutrients that she was getting. Now, something that what wryneck does, it's basically their necks get curved into what looks to be a very uncomfortable position. In her case, her neck and head were bent so far forward it was touching the ground. She couldn't stand up without doing a somersault. She would tumble forward. She couldn't eat because the risk is they could drown. Oh, your food fell over. I'm so sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. Here, Mama, fix it. They're so funny. But so she couldn't drink because if she would fall into the water and she would drown. So I had to hand feed and monitor her so she would get water for a couple days. And it didn't take long, it was a couple of weeks before I could put her back in with the girls, but it really did help. So that was Rhineck. Like I said, that was something I didn't think I was going to have to deal with because I had never heard of it, but I did. The other thing that I had to deal with that I didn't realize that these girls are savages. They will eat anything, like literally anything. You want to see something funny? Here, let me show you. This is wild to me. So this is a piece of chicken. Here's a chicken leg that they have just completely stripped. Shakira was eating it, but I think she just got the last of it. So yeah, they'll eat anything. And that's not the problem. That's fantastic because on fridge clean out day before I go to the store, anything I have extra that they can eat, which they can eat most things, it goes to them. But where that becomes a problem is they like to eat everything in my garden. So one, they stripped stuff down. Now they didn't really get to start free ranging until like the end of August or so of last year. So beginning of September. So the garden was kind of not really nearing the end, but the stuff was big enough and full enough in the beds that they really weren't getting up in there. But once it started to like die and slim down, they went in and not only did they strip down whatever was in there, which was fine because that stuff was done, but they proceeded all winter to dig my beds. They just dug the dirt like right out. Like they would get in there and just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. I had to add soil to my beds this year because they had done such a great job at digging the soil out. So I didn't think that was going to be a problem. I'm like, oh, chickens in the garden, those things go hand in hand. That's what a lovely symbiotic relationship. No, it wasn't because they were like destroying my garden. So we have since, you can see, I'm sorry. See this here? We added this little fence all the way around. It's only 3 foot high. That is also because we have a rooster next door and we're in the process of putting a fence all around the back. That's going to happen this weekend, I think, which will keep him out. But we really just don't want him or his hens in here because they also come in and dig up my beds. Yeah, I didn't think that was a thing. No one, all the Facebook groups I belong to, all the social media posting and all the YouTube videos I watch, no one mentioned that chickens will just dig your beds right up. So that was like the biggest problem. The other thing I didn't anticipate was how cute they were going to be and how sweet they are. I didn't realize, and I guess it's like with any other animal, you think, okay, like I'm a dog person. I prefer dogs over cats. But cat people will tell you, actually, 2 of our children have a cat. One has 2 cats, and then the other one has 1 cat. But they'll tell you, and I've seen it, they have little personalities. Chickens also have little personalities, like Amber and Honey are 2 Buffet Orpingtons. They will come running to me and like look at me like, pick me up. Then I have Janice, who I always felt like she had I just think she's shy. I think she was misunderstood a little bit. I thought she was a little bit like, I don't know, not very friendly, but I think she's just shy. She actually let me pick her up this morning, which was pretty cool. And then we have some of them that are a little more adventurous, some of them that are always, when you call them in at night, the last one to come in. Like our Jersey Giant, we have 1 Jersey Giant who never wants to come in at night. So they have little personalities. Well, speaking of Jersey Giants, there's 2, and then there's a 3rd one in the back. So these 2 black ones are Jersey Giants. The one over here, that's Shakira. She's an olive egg layer. And that's my other Jersey Giant in the back. Then we have Honey and Amber, my buffs. We have Sassy. She's a New Hampshire. Then we have, hello Amelia. Hello Amelia. And then we have an olive egg layer, and then that's my Americana. That's Janice. She's the one I was just telling you about. She lays blue eggs. But then that's the other thing. Speaking of eggs, I didn't anticipate how fun and how exciting it would be to have all the different colored eggs. I mean, we have like light tan, medium brown, a lighter green, like a seafoam green kind of. We get dark green, we get like olive green, we have blue. And it's just so much fun. Like, I don't know, some of the eggs, sometimes the tan ones look kind of pink with the bloom on them. And the bloom is just the outside, like an invisible coating that comes out with the egg when they lay it. But I know we're really loving it. We do have some more baby chicks inside. We have 7 little ones, and we'll go take a peek at them in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and like talk about how exciting how exciting it has been for me to have chickens. Oh, I don't want to let them out of the gate. Woo! All right. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it. I had no idea it was going to become such a big part of my life. I do get up in the morning and I have to leave for work pretty early, which is nice though because I get home early. But what I do is I come out and I I try to fill their food and water up before I go to bed. But I check them, of course, in the morning. Let's see. How are my ladies? So these are our 7. This is their indoor coop that Papa Bear made. Hello. How are you? We have a couple of cream leg bars, a couple New Hampshires, and another Americana, which is right here. So this lady right here, that's our Americana. The 3 golden ones, they're 3 New Hampshires. They're gonna turn red, and then the 3 in the back with the mohawks are my cream legwork. This little one here is my favorite. Sorry, this little guy here. Hello. And look at their little mohawks. Get out of here. They are maybe, oh my goodness. Maybe, I've lost track. Maybe 8 or so weeks old. Look at them. They're like, oh, what's out there, Mama? So yeah, so they're like maybe 8 or 9 weeks old. They're mostly fully feathered, but they're still a little bit too young to put out with the bigger girls, just because I'm afraid the bigger girls will like peck at them and injure them. What we've been doing to acclimate them is I have a pen. It's like a play yard type thing. It's like a fencing thing. I was putting it out in the grass while the bigger girls were out free ranging before we put the fence up, and they could come up and like they would just see them and kind of smell them and get used to their sounds and that sort of thing. Then I put that play yard in the girls' fenced-in area. Same thing, so they could just get used to them being in their space, get used to their sounds, get used to the way they, all the things, the way they smell, just kind of like normalize them being in their space. Then last weekend, we just put them in the fenced-in area while I was there, and it went pretty well. I still wouldn't let them in there without supervision, because I don't trust those savages. I just don't. They're wild. So, but yeah, anyway, so we have the 12, we have the 7, and then I might have some more coming from a hatchery. Yeah, but my husband has put the kibosh on me getting any, and rightfully so. Like we're ending up with more eggs than we can handle. That's the other thing. Let's talk about that. chicken math. Hello, I heard about it. I knew it was a thing. I knew of it. Now I have experienced it because I happen to work very close to a Tractor Supply, actually right next to it. So I was checking in there all the time. And then someone told me that they had some sapphire. There's a couple of varieties I heard the other day that location had. But I can't. I mean, I'm good. I have enough. But anyway, so happy Chicken-naversery for us. I'm going to make them some oatmeal. I'm going to make them their favorite dish, which is funny that, like, who would have thought that I would have chickens and they would have a favorite dish. So it's oatmeal and corn is like their favorite thing. I just mix it up with some water. They absolutely love it. I'll throw some spinach in there too, probably just a little bit, not too much. But so I'm going to make them their favorite dish. So the happy gotcha day, happy Chicken-naversery to them and me. I'm not eating oatmeal and corn, but I mean, I eat oatmeal and I eat corn. I just don't eat it together, and I'm really not in the mood for that right now. But anyway, thanks for stopping in the Songbird Homestead. I'm going to go celebrate my chickens, and I hope you have a good day. Hope to see you again soon.